everybody, it's Julie for EllenHudson.com. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm going to be doing some hot foiling using a cover plate die, and I'm working specifically with the Essentials by Ellen Constellation cover plate die. I thought this would look so cool foiled on black cardstock. Now, I'm using the Gemini foil press because I have a Gemini junior die cutting machine, and that's what this system is designed to work with. And the Crafter's Companion foil comes in two different formats. There's the purple label, which is for paper craft, and there's the pink label, which is for other surfaces like leather and fabric and ribbon, etc. And if you're not sure after you unpackage your foil which one you've got, that white core tells you it's papercraft foil, and if it's a craft core, that means it's multi-surface foil. So each works better depending on what it's labeled. So since I'm working with paper, I'm going to be using the papercraft foil. Now, you get all kinds of goodies in the Gemini foil press kit. It's got silicone grippies. It's got the tongs for getting a hold of those hot dies and a silicone pad for dropping them onto so you don't mar your work surface. And then we've got the platform itself. So I'm going to turn on the main power button on the side there, and then I'm going to hit the power button on the top of the machine, which is going to then start up the heating element. And then I plugged in the platform into that socket there, and it's going to engage and start heating up. So it's preheating as we speak. And then I'm going to go ahead and increase the timer. The great thing about this is it has a built-in timing machine, so you can set it according to the chart. It comes with a manual that gives you this chart and lets you know, depending on the paper surface and the type of foil that you're doing and the size of the die that you're working with, or foil press, plate, how long you need to heat these up and on what setting. Now, you may need to tweak those settings, but it gives you a good starting point, and then you can go from there. So I realized I got great results using medium heat with one of these large cover plates and setting it for 35 seconds according to the manual. And I'm working with 100-pound black cardstock. This is the Essentials by Ellen cardstock. And I went ahead and put that plate on. Everything's all layered up the way it needs to be. And then I'm going to hit the start button and give it 35 seconds to just heat everything up to the right temperature. And through the magic of television, now we're there at 0. And so I'm going to take it off. It beeps at you too, which is cool. And I grabbed the silicone grippy things and sent that through my Gemini Junior die cutting machine. Now at this point, I'm not going to re-engage the heating plate because I don't want it to just keep heating continually, because then it can overheat. So I keep it disengaged until I'm ready to start up my next project. And that seems to give me consistent results as I go from project to project. So I got a beautiful foil there, as you saw, and I peeled away the cardstock, and it was excellent. It was perfect. And then I'm going to foil the waste. And so what I'm going to do here is take that waste piece of foil, I'm going to put it back on the platform. I'm still on medium heat, and I'm going to increase the timer to about 50 seconds. And then I have a quarter sheet of Neenah Solar White. This is 80 pound. Now, I'm not sure what you'd get on 100 pound. I was just or 110 pound, but I was working with Neenah 80 pounds, so that's what I've got. And then you go foil with the ugly side up and the pretty side down, and then you put your cardstock on top of that, and then you're going to put a cardstock shim. And I just took a piece of cardstock and I folded it in half. And here's a little chart for you to remember. And I put the magnetic shim from the Gemini Junior and then the top plate. And then I turned the heat on for 50 seconds. So I hit the start button. There we go. It's going to go, and through the magic of television, it's already done. And now I can go ahead and disengage it from that socket and go ahead and send it through my Gemini Junior. Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to use those silicone hot pads. I find that it's not hot enough to really, and where I'm grabbing it, I didn't have any problems with it being too hot for my hands. But if you are sensitive, those little silicone grippies are a good thing to use. Now, I'm just going to peel everything away. There you can see I got a good transfer on the scrap there onto my cardstock shim, which is fine. You can just reuse that shim over and over and over again. But here you can see I didn't just toss away the waste. I saved it, and now I've got this really cool piece I can use for something later on. I think it would be really cool to kind of frame it and make an art print. And so that's something I'm actually going to experiment with too. Now, I took the really cute rocket ship stamp set by Brandy and went ahead and stamped in coordinating colors onto solid color cardstock, and then I die cut them out with the matching dies. And I also stamped the sentiment on a scrap of white. And I'm just going to staple that right there to the top of my panel. And I did trim down my foiled panel about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, so I'd have a nice 1/8 inch border when I mount that to my base card. And my base card is Nina Solar White, 80 pound, and it's a standard A2 card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 once you fold it. And then I put some foam tape on the back of my little planets there, and I'm just going to get those mounted in place. I did futz around a little bit with the placement. I didn't bore you by leaving those clips in because you would just go nuts watching me determine how I wanted to plan those out. Added a couple of star sequins there, and boom, you're done. And that is such a fun way to use your cover plates. Get your foiling on and have a lot of fun with that. Thanks for watching.